What she's going to do is start in a bridge position and then lift her pelvis up and stick that block right on her pelvis. So this needs to be just on her sacrum, so not on the lower back. Okay, so you don't want to be on the lower back at all. You want to be on the sacrum. So what she's going to do now is lower one leg straight, so lower that left leg, and then lower the right leg. And there's a little bit of traction already at that point, making sure she's not sore. Then she needs to raise both arms carefully over the head. Now what it's going to do is give her traction with her upper body weight that way and her lower body weight that way. So over the block, she's sort of giving a little bit of gapping. And she's going to go into a little bit of extension, which is going to be nice. But this again, I only go for about a minute. Slide it for 5 minutes and realise you can't get up. So a minute on and a minute off. And when you have the minute off, hands back again, bend your knees, make sure she's all okay. And then she just lifts up into a bridge and then goes there. Now, what you can do in between is do some rotation stretches or pelvic tilts or whatever you want to do. And that's a really nice one to do. Okay, then she just lifts up into a bridge. When you have the minute off, hands back again, bend your knees, make sure she's all okay. Then she just lifts up into a bridge and then goes there. Now, what you can do in between is do some rotation stretches or pelvic tilts or whatever you want to do. But that's the glute bridge is basically done lying down to start. This is your entry-level bridge, and always make sure that you are in a neutral spine, because that's what you want to be when you're doing squats and deadlifts, in a neutral spine. So neutral spine is halfway between fully arched and fully rounded, so nicely halfway in between. And then you've got to make sure, again, when you're squatting and deadlifting, you're making sure your core is on. Now the best way to work on bracing your core is a quick breath out, a little breath like that, and it just tightens the core. Now you've got to keep that on and keep breathing. So making sure that's on and you're breathing the whole way through, you don't let that go. So this is on nice and tight. And I'm still breathing, so you can hear me talking. When I go into a bridge, I'm going to start putting weight down through my heels. So I put weight down through my heels, it pre-fires me here, and then I just keep pushing down my heels as I'm pushing them through the ground, and my pelvis will rise up. And then once it's rising, I keep pushing down through my heels and I clench my butt cheeks together. It's like I've got a credit card between my butt cheeks, and that pushes me right up into that position, which is the end position of that squat and deadlift. And I'm really working hard through my posterior chain, the back of my legs, and then slowly come down, making sure your core is in a block. And then you drop down so your buttocks or the back of your pelvis touches first. What I don't want you to do is do an articulated bridge, which is this little roll into the pelvic tilt. So I don't want you pelvic tilting posteriorly like that, because then you go into flexion. That's really bad for people with disc problems who are trying to do bridges. They don't want to go into flexion. So they've got to stay neutral. You push down through your heels, maintain that neutral spine, and I'm hinging here. So this is stable, this is what's moving. So imagine a hinge point there, and I'm pushing down and hinging up and squeezing those butt cheeks together. And that's the top of the bridge. And then making sure I don't roll down like a snake at the top. I just come straight down, and so I'm hinging again there. All right, so that's your bridge.
We're going to do a glute bridge. Lie flat onto your back on the floor and tense your buttock muscles to lift your hips towards the ceiling. Hold. Each one you'd probably be looking to do about 10 repetitions as a minimum, but you can build up to more than that if you find it quite easy. It must.
Doing a single leg bridge, what I don't want you to do is sort of raise one leg and try and come up. I want you to try and come up and then raise one leg. And that teaches you to try and keep a neutral pelvis at the top. So if I brace here, I'm going to push my heels down, clench my butt cheeks together, get my top of the bridge position. Now I've got to raise one leg. Now, if you just raise one leg, you tend to drop your pelvis on one side because you're not working hard enough, you're not thinking about one side. So when you come up, you've got to then put all my weight through my right leg to raise my left. So weight down through my right heel, clench my right buttock hard without cramping my hamstring. And I'm just going to try and slowly lighten the left, keep my pelvis level, and float that off. So you can see that pelvis is level. Put my heel back down the ground. Then I'm going to swap sides, clench my left buttock, weight down through my left heel, raise my right leg, put it back down the ground, and then not roll down, just drop down into that position there. Okay, so make sure that you're not letting your pelvis tilt left and right. And if you are a bit weak on the exercise, what you can do is just lighten one leg. So you sort of lift one heel off. It's almost like you're about to float one leg and then put it back down the ground again. Other side, float one leg off until you've got enough strength and control that that leg just floats off the ground and back down and then drop down. And that's it. And I'm just going to try and slowly lighten the left, keep my pelvis level, and float that off. So you can see that pelvis is level. Put my heel back down the ground. Then I'm going to swap sides, clench my left buttock, weight down through my left heel, raise my right leg, put it back down the ground, and then not roll down, just drop down into that position there. Okay, so make sure that you're not letting your pelvis tilt left and right. And if you are a bit weak on the exercise, what you can do is just lighten one leg. So you sort of lift one heel off. It's almost like you're about to float one leg and then put it back down the ground again. Other side, float one leg off until you've got enough strength and control that leg just floats off the ground and back down and then drop down. And that's it.
due to some stiffness, and we want to really alleviate that stiffness and really release any tension in our spine. We get that a lot from sitting, maybe carrying children, driving in our cars, wearing poor footwear. All of the above can give us poorly spine. So lift it up out of the waist. As I say, a couple of shoulder rolls just to feel open across the chest. And then I want you to think about your core, your abdominals. A lot of back pain stems from weak abdominals. So we're going to draw that tummy button through to the spine. Imagine someone's got a piece of string attached to your middle back. And you're going to draw that middle back out towards that back wall. Squeeze your chin to your chest. Round out your spine. Then interlace your fingers across your thumbs. And press your palms to the opposite side of the room. So you're making a C shape with your spine. We call this a contraction in dance terminology. We're contracting the spine, making space between the vertebrae, drawing the abdominals in, release off. That's the shape that I want you to continue to make. When you release off from this contraction, don't then hyperextend and pop your ribcage out. Come back to that neutral, tailbone pointing down, ribcage drawn together position. And now start to work in a classical position called first position. We can find this by finding parallel, rocking back onto our heels, and from the tops of our legs, opening up. Our hips, our knees and our ankles are all in one line. Don't overturn your feet like a penguin. That isn't going to help anything, especially not anything into your back. Again, tailbone points down, rib cage doesn't overextend. This time we're finding a bra bar. As we contract, draw your chin to your chest, and now take a demi-plie, plie to bend, squeeze your chin to your chest. Draw up, find that tutu height again. Let's go, plie, squeeze chin to chest, and find a little higher, find arms to second. Again, plie, squeeze your chin to chest, find that lifted open fifth, and then draw down and up, and release. We're going to step out now. We're going to straight away sweep up and over, taking that little rotation a little deeper. For 5, for 6, for 7, and again, just adding a gentle twist, but keeping my hips facing me. This is now 3, 2, 1, come back, find first. Let's do it once more, replie. Draw up, find your demi-bras, and plie. Arms come to first, chin to chest, little higher. Good, plie, same thing, tuck those thumbs away, lift. Draw the arms down and up, take a breath. Let's go one more time now, let's do it one more time, really rounding that spine now. So it's got lots of movement going through that torso, our muscular corset area, really crucial as dancers. We consider it the centerpiece of our work, lower down and up. Maybe this time you take a rise.
One is one of the big 4 core exercises, which is the 4-point arm leg raise, and this needs quite a lot of instructions, so we're going to go through each component of it. The big 4 meaning it's one of the top 4 core exercises I want you to do. They sometimes call it the Superman, that exercise, but we call it a 4-point arm leg raise. Gosh, it's sunny here today. Okay, welcome to Sydney. When you're doing this exercise, what you want to do, 4-point meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 points on the ground. You've got to be arm width apart. Okay, with the knees. So when you put your hands down, make sure your knees are the same as your hands. So you've got an even 4 points. The first thing you've got to think about is the core. Okay, so we need your spine in neutral. And remember, that's a very shallow curve. Now you'll see on Alki, she's got quite a hypolordotic curve, so we need to try and teach her to get back into a little bit neutral. So she needs to just pelvic tilt a little bit, not too much, so her curve is shallow, not excessive, okay? So that's the start point, and even doing that gives you a bit of activation, all right? Then we're going to make sure, she's actually doing really well here, she's in neutral up in here. Most people, drop down for me, are in that broken position there. So we don't want to be in a retracted shoulder position, it's too hard on the shoulders, plus you don't get very good core activations throughout the whole body. So if she comes back into there, she's neutral through here and long in the head, which is great. So you don't want to have the head hung down, okay? You've got to be long in the back of the neck, as though you've got a dowel rod coming all the way down through there. So that's your start position. Now, whenever you're doing this exercise, all those core breathing activation rules apply. So she's got to make sure a little bit of pelvic floor comes on, okay, with this exercise, because she's not lifting weights, all right? She's doing low-level core exercise, so pelvic floor is quite good for this. With a little bit of pelvic floor like you're holding a wee, and then a quick breath out, which is what you need for when you're lifting weights, to try and keep that anterior core on, your obliques on. Now switch on that stability here, that control here, because she's going to need that when she raises one arm, one leg. The first thing I get people doing is raising the arm initially. So from this point, she's got to think, I've got to balance between 3 points and raise my arm forward. Now, some people raise their arm forward and they'll shift off to the knee. So you can't go and just shift off to one side. You've got to trust the shoulder that you've got, as long as you've got a good shoulder. So just try that again for me, okay, yep, coming forward. Now, big tip with this one, make a fist, all right? And then use your lat. So she's going to do a bit of a lat pull down, just a slight one, to engage her lat, which helps, remember, the lat connects through her lumbar fascia, which is going to give her more stability. So when you're doing an arm leg raise, make sure when that's up, she pulls her lat on. Now hold it there for me, Elkie. Then it's opposite, right? So it's her right leg, she's going to then straighten out the back. Now, as she does that, she's got to almost stabilize before she raises the leg. So she can't go and shift off to the left knee. She's got to trust the right shoulder. Just come down again for me, Elkie. So let's reset. So shallow here, come up a bit higher. There's neutral. Raise your left arm forward. Good. Now, what I tell people is, if you come over here for me, Sarah, is when she raises that arm forward, people tend to drop here. Okay, they tend to drop down and do that. So go into protraction. She needs to stay up here, and then when she raises that leg, again, she's got to work really hard there, so she's already dropped down again. So she has to really push down with that right arm. Now this leg needs to go up in the air, right? Now to get that glute going more, dorsiflex the foot. Think about, Elkie, push your heel towards the door. Okay, so when she pushes that way, and she's pulling that way, she's going to get lats and glutes, thoracolumbar fascia. She's got an abdominal breath out, so she's got that control, the whole thing's locked on. So there's your core stability. It's an endurance hold, so she needs to hold that. You're okay. Keep pushing up. A good 10 seconds on the hold, and then come down together. Then reset. Okay, get your neutral, then go right arm. So right arm forward, make a fist, pull down, left leg, push your heel to the door, if you like. Now at this point, she's skew-riffing a little bit, so she's got a difference left and right, which I'd expect because she's had a right side discectomy. Okay, so she needs to work on, can you feel like you're leaning on that knee? Yeah. So I can see she's leaning on that knee, so she's got to be aware, okay, I'm leaning too much on my knee, I need to trust this side a little bit more, all right? So her ability to cross-connect, if you like, is not as good on this side. So let's try that again for me. Come up, so she needs to really trust that. And then she goes into a bit of a curve there, so she needs to lift up a bit here. Okay, trust that right shoulder, left shoulder. It's a lot harder, isn't it? Yeah. She'll be unstable. Now, this will really help her getting her left and right control a little bit better. So when she does do a squat or a lift or a lunge or a deadlift, she's more even, she's more less skew. Do you see that move there? Yeah. So this is why I don't let people go straight away getting into it. She's got to really stabilise first. So she needs to work almost harder doing this way. So tighter here, slowly with that right arm, and then tighten again and slowly with that left leg to give her enough time to translate and move weight onto one shoulder and trust that shoulder without shifting and moving away and compensating.
We're going to do Superman. Get onto all fours with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Find your neutral pelvis. Now lift one leg and one opposite arm off the floor at the same time and repeat with opposite arms and legs. We're going to do Superman. Get onto all fours with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Find your neutral pelvis. Now lift one leg and one opposite arm off the floor at the same time and repeat with opposite arms and legs.
Alright y'all, for the second movement, all you need is a towel. You can get a towel you don't care about. The main thing you want to focus on during this movement is make sure that you're pulling it apart the entire time. So you're going to grab it wide grip. You're going to put your arms at full extension above your head and engaging your lats. You're going to pull all the way down behind your neck. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back up. Get a little bit closer so y'all can see. Full extension. Come down. Engage your lats. Squeeze really hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back up. You're going to repeat that 8 to 12 times to get a really good pump in your lats. The fifth exercise, we're going to do body weight good mornings. So what you're going to do is bring your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. You're going to make sure that you don't round out your back, and the entire time that you do this movement, you want to engage your hamstrings and engage your glutes. So what you're going to do is actually bend at the hips, leading with your hips pushing down forward. Make sure you're not rounding out your back, keeping it straight. You're going to come down, you're going to raise back up. I'll also show you from this side. Feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Engage hips, glutes, hamstrings, come down, back up.